Alright, welcome back everyone to our final game of the night and our third game in the Group B
Radiant team pick.
stage. Group stage? Group B? Oh man, this is a rough start. Either way, I'm Niz, and welcome to the Dota 2 Canada Cup. We saw quite an interesting game last game. It was a game that went kind of went the distance. It was a little bit of a long one, but Black Sheep did prevail over Wheel, and they moved out to a 1-0 start to this group stage. Wheel, we saw in our first game of tonight, take down Boreal. So that meant overall, if we catch up to where we are now, Wheel's 1-1 in the group. Black Sheep is 1-0. And Boreal's 0-1. So with a win here from Boreal, everything could be all tied up between those three teams. We do, of course, have a fourth team in the group. We're not going to see them till tomorrow night, where we've got 3 more games, or the final 3 games of the group. And that's going to be with Root Gaming. And they could mix everything up.
10 seconds remaining.
So this is it's going to be an interesting one, but obviously Boreal's going to look to win here because they need to get back in it. If they go down 2 games in this group stage already, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be a whole lot of trouble. So they need to find a way to win here. And let's see what we've got going so far. Is we got Troll Warlord and Sniper getting banned out by Black Sheep. Bat Rider and Storm Spirit were banned out by Boreal. Boreal with the first pick picked up the Earthshaker. Then Black Sheep picked up Vengeful Spirit and Juggernaut.
Team ban.
Then Axe was the pick for Boreal. Now we get Magnus banned out by Boreal. So a little bit different. A little bit different opening here from the two teams. As Lion left in the pool, not touched, but electing to go with the Earthshaker first.
10 seconds remaining.
Very, very interesting.
5 seconds remaining.
A little reminder that this is not the official stream for the Dota 2 Canada Cup. If you want to find that, you can find it at twitch.tv/Dota 2 Canada Cup. So definitely go and check that out and support them. But, you know, if you want to stick around and listen to me cast too, that would be great as well. I am uploading all the VODs of the games that I cast to YouTube on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/NizCast. And that's actually something that the Dota 2 Canada Cup isn't doing for this stage. So if you want to see the kind of VODs of the stuff, I'm sure you could watch them on Twitch on their channel. But they're not uploading any of that stuff to YouTube. They're only going to upload the playoffs and the rest of the tournament after the group stage to their YouTube channel. So that's where you can find that at least. But you can also support this tournament by buying the ticket in-game. It's $8.99 American, and you get a Sven set, and 12.5% of that, $9, goes towards the prize pool. So that's pretty awesome. I haven't checked recently, but I imagine we're pretty close, if not already past the $12,000 mark for the prize pool. So that's great. It's great to see a tournament like this getting that much money and being able to support the amateur scene. As we got our second round of bans done, and that's Magnus and Clockwork banned out by Boreal, and Skywrath, Mage, and Slark banned out by Black Sheep. Black Sheep then open up with a Lina as their pick. So, are we going to see another support Lina, or are we going to see another core Lina? We'll have to wait and see. If they do that, the Lina would be in the mid lane. And then we'd have our safe lane of Vengeful Spirit and Juggernaut, and then waiting, of course, on an offlaner and another support. Boreal most likely going to be running that Axe in the off lane, Earthshaker as a support, most likely moving around. And, well, now they've picked up a Shadow Fiend, so that could very well be in the mid lane as well. Although, doesn't always have to be run there. He could be run in the safe lane. But it's the Radiant side Shadow Fiend. Most likely we're going to see him in the mid lane. And the reason I say it's a Radiant Shadow Fiend is because he has access to the neutral camp that's really close to the mid lane. And that allows him to go and stack that or even just to farm it. So he pushes the lane, and then he can hop into the jungle, kill that creep camp real quick, and hop back into the lane before he's basically missed anything.
Reserve time.
So he has that advantage to him. Dire side's a little bit further into the jungle before you're able to get to the creep camp to do essentially the same thing. One thing that is very strong against is against a mid laner that really struggles with pushing the wave and being able to clear the wave quickly. Because Shadow Fiend's going to quickly decimate your wave and push it towards your tower. And if you don't have a way of pushing it right back, that means Shadow Fiend's got the time to go do that. If you do have a way of pushing it back, Shadow Fiend's a little bit more limited. He can still do it, but he's a little bit more limited. If he's going up against Lina, Lina of course has that ability to push it right back. But we're going to see a Morphling getting picked up by Black Sheep. Interesting. Is this going to be a support Morphling to pair up with the Vengeful Spirit, or is it going to be an offlane Morphling? Both are incredibly strong. Both are strength-based Morphlings. And that means that you get it's basically a 4.5 second stun. I'm not sure exactly the timing of it. Adaptive, I always get it wrong. 4.25. I was going to say 4.75, so I guess I was a little bit closer to being right. Lion's going to be the pick for Boreal. And that'll pair up with the Earthshaker quite well to give them some nice, strong disable. Earthshaker gives them that long-range initiation. Lion then can step in and lay down both of his CCs, and also has the burst damage with Finger to finish off a target. So the good, strong synergy between those two heroes. Both heroes that like moving around, or are very capable of moving around in the early stages of the game.
Remaining.
Of course, as the game goes on, they want to be a little bit closer to their team and not really venturing off by themselves. But in terms of the early game and the laning phase, they expect them, or at least one of them, to be moving around quite a bit. Earthshaker, I'm guessing, is probably going to be the one doing it. Probably sitting more towards the mid lane, or somewhere between mid and bottom, and really protecting that Shadow Fiend. Queen of Pain was the last ban for Black Sheep. And now Boreal will look to remove their last hero. And I think, here's the issue. You don't know what that Morphling is. You don't know what the Lina is. So,
Dire team
that's okay. That's an alright ban. So you could ban a support, although there's a lot of supports left in the pool, so you don't really want to you're not really going to be able to limit your opponent's choices by that much. You could ban an offlaner and think that Morphling's support, but I don't really know about that. Or you could ban a mid laner, and they banned the Zeus, so that's kind of a hybrid between the potential of a mid laner or a support, and that's because you don't know what that Lina is. Is it support or is it mid? We know now that it's going to be a support, as Templar Assassin's been picked up by Black Sheep. But the Zeus kind of covered both bases. I'm not really sure how well the Zeus would have done mid against the Shadow Fiend. He does have the burst damage, which Shadow Fiend's a little bit susceptible to early on.
10 seconds remaining.
He's able to spam the Arc Lightning, which is going to eat into Shadow Fiend's health pool a little bit early on, but it's not like you really need to harass Shadow Fiend all that much to set up a kill. If he's caught out and he's dead. Boreal finish up their roster with a Phantom Lancer. And, well, that's going to be interesting. So that's going to be their safe lane farmer, and we're just going to hop into the game here in a second, and we'll introduce the teams and the players. But here we go. We've got Boreal eSports on the Radiant side, and their line is going to be getting played by Pizza Dad 37. KVH is going to be on the Shadow Fiend. PQ, or Penguin, is going to be on the Earthshaker. Angry Testy is going to be on the Phantom Lancer, and Jeppins is going to be on the Axe. We saw him play Axe earlier in the first game of tonight. For our Dire side, we got Team Black Sheep playing their Lina is going to be Hitch. Enzo is going to be on the Templar Assassin. Chrysalid's going to be hitting up that Vengeful Spirit. Ha 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 is going to be on the Juggernaut. And Dank Mech is going to be on the Morphling. Looks like it is indeed going to be an offlane Morphling, which we pretty much knew based on the Templar Assassin pick. Potential action here is Enzo's going to take a little bit of harass. He's going to get stunned up. Interesting that we got a Battle Hunger getting picked up here by Jeppins. That'll help burn through the refraction charges, and we'll get into that a little bit in a second, as PQ is going to get picked off there for first blood. We may also lose Angry Testy, as he's going to try to run on this Phantom Lancer. He's down to 180 HP, and I don't think... Oh, they will be able to catch him with the Magic Missile, just barely in range, and he's going to go down, so it's a double to start the game off once again for Black Sheep. And oh boy.
Take that as tribute.
That's the second time we've seen that happen for them. And now Jeppin's trying to get in front of Chrysalid to get some body blocks off. Keep in mind, he does have battle hunger. They're going to turn it around, put some pressure on the Pizza Dad 37. And I think he's going to go down. Yes, the LSA is going to land. Jeppins may get a return kill here on Chrysalid, who is eating through the trees with the tangos. And he will get a return kill. So before the game even starts, we pretty much have 4 kills already on the board. And what's interesting about starting with Battle Hunger is Battle Hunger eats through the refraction charges, and they actually had the potential of putting Axe in the mid lane to counter the TA, as it's a strong counter. Not sure what they would have done with the Shadow Fiend, but either way, we're going to lose Hitch here, as Boreal tries to get some of these kills going back in their favor. And it's now 2-3, so they're still down 1. But Jeppins, hanging out in the bottom lane. He had to hang out because of that Battle Hunger skill up. He needs to get a point to counter Helix before he's able to hop into the jungle. And well, just as he goes to the jungle, he realizes he has to come back, as there's a potential kill here onto Hitch, and they're going to get that. Going to go put some more pressure on DankMac, but he's going to be perfectly fine. There's no real kill potential there. Let's update where we are with the lanes. Jeppins now is actually going to go to his lane. He's going to be up in the top lane, going up against the Juggernaut and the Vengeful Spirit. And looks like Pizza Dad's also rotating up here, so it's going to be an Axe and a Lion dual lane. Shadow Fiend and Templar Assassin are going to go against each other in the mid lane. Earthshaker and Phantom Lancer are going to be up against the Morphling in the bottom lane. Lena, she was down there, but not really sure where she's going right now. Probably going to stack this, check the bottom rune, and then we'll know based on where she goes from there. But so far, a real action-packed game, and it looks like we're going to get to see a little bit more as Invis gets used here by Hitch, as he's going to make his way towards the mid lane, where we're seeing some action already potentially forming. Nope, Jeppins will be able to back away. Hitch now is going to try to set up a kill here onto KVH. Shadow Fiend so susceptible to ganks early on. Hitch would have to open up with the stun, and he's going to be able to do so. Chrysalis going to lean up with the magic missile. And will they be able to get the kill on KVH here? Yeah, just one more auto attack. There it goes. There was a feature that came out from the Earthshaker and mentioned that PQ is most likely going to be hanging around the mid lane on that Earthshaker to try and protect the Shadow Fiend. Wasn't able to do so this time. But another kill goes the way of Black Sheep. We got 7 kills already in under 3 minutes into this game. Oh my. Well, Lions going to be laning up here. He doesn't just rotate up here and then he's going to rotate away. It looks like he's actually going to stay up here with the Axe. We're seeing a lot of these dual lanes with the Axe in the off lane. We saw in our first group, we saw it get used quite heavily with the Axe and the Treant Protector by Summoner's Rift. And Boreal playing a little bit of a different style with parking the Lion up there instead. Of course, they did just leave the Axe kind of to his own devices in the first game in the off lane. But what this will do, it's called a 2-1-2 setup. You got 2 heroes in your top lane, 1 in the mid lane, and 2 in the bottom. What that'll do is actually allow the Axe to get a little bit more XP and a little bit more gold in this lane because he's got another hero behind him. He's able to contest the tri-lane a little bit more. And not only is that more beneficial for Axe, it means the Lion, the support that's with him, is going to be able to get a little bit more XP than he normally would. He's actually going to end up with a little bit less gold because he's not going to be pulling as much. I'll get to that in a second as Pizza Dad's in trouble. He's going to go down here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But it has another effect on the heroes that are in the bottom lane as well, because, well, they're going to be getting more XP essentially as well, and the support's going to have basically the same amount of XP as he normally would in the tri-lane. This Jeppin's going to get wrapped around here. He's going to get some good spin procs to get some damage off onto the Juggernaut, but looks like he's going to go down. He's going to juke through the trees, but eventually he will go down. So 6-3 now for Black Sheep, because they've been making some really good rotations. Lots of movement going on early on in this game. Not really from Angry Testy. He's just kind of been sitting down here, farming up in the bottom lane, but that's expected of him. DankMac been having a little bit of a tough time in terms of the amount of pressure that's getting applied on on him in the bottom lane. But we take a look at the CS, and he's at 21-3 right now. The Phantom Lancer's only at 25-9, so this Morphling getting quite a bit of farm and certainly XP as he just hit 6 in the off lane. Unbelievable. In fact, he has one more CS than the Shadow Fiend, who's at 21-6. Of course, Shadow Fiend died once, but still, that's quite impressive coming out from the Morphling. So, if we know our Shadow Fiend CS, well, we take a look at the TA, and it's pretty much identical, as she just gets one CS there and, well, changes it all up. But basically, dead even in terms of our mid laner. But of course, you got to keep in mind that Shadow Fiend did die. You have to keep that in mind. As for Juggernaut, he's been pretty much uncontested, apart from the little bit of pressure that came out from Axe. So he's our top farmer at 36-11. And Axe, he's managed 19 CS, so he's done quite well. KVH getting dove on by Enzo. That's going to force out a TP from Jeppins. And Enzo is just going to back away. We're also going to get a TP coming in from Hitch, as they're going to try to set something up with maybe a TA trap. And never mind, KVH just throws a soul or whatever Shadow Fiend throws at it. and just destroys it before it's even able to potentially do anything. Then Pizza Dad 37. I said he was looking like he was maybe going to stay in the top lane, but apparently completely wrong, as he's constantly moving around. In fact, Jeppin's not even staying up there either, as the two of them are going to move together, maybe try and set something up on the mid lane. There is a psionic trap here coming from the TA, so they need to be careful. That'll spot them out. And we can take a quick look of how much vision that'll give, and it did just spot out the Lion's going to get pinged out immediately from the Lina. A Sentry Ward was just dropped by Pizza Dad, not to counter that psionic trap, although it did, but also to counter an Observer Ward that would potentially be up here on the high ground. Dankmek is rotating away from that bottom rune, and bottom lane. He's going to find Pizza Dad 37. He's going to stun him up, and he's stunned forever. Hitch also throwing down his stun as well. And will they get this? They should. Yeah, there we go. Hitch with the last auto attack will get it. But look at that stun. It's at 3.25 seconds right now. There was quite a bit of overlap coming out from Hitch there, but holy moly. That's so strong. Now they're going to try to make a play on bottom as well, as they're going to try to go in on Angry Tessie. They're going to lead with that Adaptive Strike again, stunning him up, then followed up by the Light Striker Way and a Dragon Slave. They don't have Laguna available to them. Lina just barely couple XP, actually 4 XP away from hitting 6, so she doesn't, away from hitting 5, so she doesn't have that available to her. She will go down there. They're going to get some good damage in on Angry Tessie, but they're not going to be able to kill him. He does have a healing salve in his inventory, so he's going to be able to heal himself back up, just switch away from Strength Treads to maximum efficiency, and see I'm doing just that. Dankmek will get the bottom rune. That's going to be an illusion rune, as he'll just actually stand on it. He's not. There we go. He'll get it eventually, as Enzo decided to go for the top rune and get that bounty rune. Now we're going to see a smoke coming out from Chrysalid, as they're going to attempt to wrap around here on Pizza Dad 37. Haha and Hitch have already dove the tower. They're going to get the kill on the Lion. Will they stick around for the tower? Doesn't look like it. As well, the creep wave isn't really there anyways. And Haha, not wanting to waste time running all the way around, just runs right through the tower, and he's got a Mask of Madness. He'll be able to heal himself up quickly, so he doesn't really worry too much about that. And he'll actually even drop the healing ward, because that'll keep his creeps alive. But we got action in the mid lane as KVH is taking some damage. Pitcher's going to come out onto Enzo, and then we got some nice CC chaining there coming out from Boreal. In fact, they're going to get another kill on Dankmek, as Jeppins is going to come in and chop off the Morphling's head,
Radiant structures
which is really just a bunch of water.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Whatever. That's Dota. It may not make sense, but we're going to have a TP coming in from Angry Tessie, actually. They're going to engage here, but Pizza Dad 37 is going to go down immediately. Nice setup coming out from Black Sheep. Angry Tessie will get a kill on the Lina. He's going to try to get one onto Ha, as he tries to chase him down. Won't be able to catch him. He'll just come back to where Chrysalid was getting killed by PQ, who had blocked him off in the trees and was just standing there smacking him with his big totem. 8-9 now, so Boreal managing to close the gap. This game has been action-packed. We're just hitting the 10-minute mark now. We see an Omni Slash coming out onto Angry Tessie, but he just pops into his invis there and doesn't get hit. His Jeppins will get stunned up by that adaptive strike. Man, it's so long every time I see it. Haha will get his head chopped off by the axe as he blinks forward and does so. He blinked actually over, or essentially away from where he was going to get stunned from a light strike array, so good timing there. He recognized the fact that the Lina was turning around, that stun was coming out. Now he's going to blink forward, get the taunt off on her. Fissure's going to come down, and that's going to be a dead Lina. She does have Battle Hunger on her, so PQ actually laying down the Echo to ensure that they get that kill. It was just a level 1 Battle Hunger, so she probably wouldn't have ticked out from it, and they might have had to go a little bit deep for it. Definitely a good use of the Echo there. Well, we're 11 minutes into this. Let's switch over to the net worth and see how all this movement and how everything, all these kills, these 19 kills, have affected the net worth earned for everyone. Juggernaut in the lead, 5,300. Second place is going to be KVH on the Shadow Fiend at 4,900. And then to Angry Testy at basically 4,900 as well on the Phantom Lancer. And then Axe at 4,600. So Jeppin's doing quite well on that Axe. And then it's the mid TA at 4K. In terms of the teams, well, Boreal, of course, ahead at about 1,500 gold. And in terms of XP, they're quite a bit ahead in terms of XP at about 3,300. But Roche just went down in favor of Black Sheep. Will hold on to that Aegis on the Juggernaut. Black Sheep's big fans of taking Roche often and taking it early. As we saw them do basically the same thing last game. And you know what? When you're Dire, you have that available to you. Now they're going to farm up this Ancient Camp. They don't have the Healing Ward available to them because they just used it on Roche. They got to be a little bit careful here and take it maybe a little bit slower. But Radiant basically doing the same thing, farming up their own Ancient stack. Good stacking coming up from the supports this game. A big box drawn on the Radiant, in the Radiant jungle on the minimap by KVH, potentially saying, you know what, they're probably here, or they could be here. Just kind of protect me from them coming there, as he wanted to push up into the mid lane. He was kind of up here, and PQ was just kind of down there covering. Well, we go back to farming a little bit here, but if this game continues on the pace it was, we're not going to be farming for long. As Juggernaut just finishing a Yasha, though those items are still in the stash. We're going to see a 4-man smoke come out from Black Sheep as they make their way down to the bottom lane, as they're going to try and put some pressure onto Angry Testy. Actually just got killed. So he did have the Aegis to come back. Jeppins came down. I'm guessing he chopped his head off. Although it is off cooldown, but maybe he just got the taunt. Either way, they're going to stun up Angry Testy. They're even going to throw it to Laguna. And they will get the kill on Angry Testy with the Dragon Slay. There comes the big Echo coming out from PQ. Chrysalid's going to go down here. We just lost Enzo as well off to the left-hand side of the screen. Now they're going to try to chase down And Angry Testy's going to jump on back in. He bought back for this. And well, buyback proving its worth, as they get a 3-man return kill. It did cost them a little bit of gold. Cost 273 gold in total for the Phantom Lancer to be able to do that. But net win for the team of about 700 gold. So Angry Testy playing, being a little bit of a team player there. It cost him a little bit as the hard carry, but overall it was a win for the team. And it's not just that, hey, everyone on the team got 700 gold ahead, or in total we got 700 gold ahead. But he said, you know what, I fell behind a little bit, but at the same time, we got a kill on 2 very valuable targets. The Templar Assassin died. The Vengeful Spirit, not so much. Not so important. But the Juggernaut was the other one that went down, and those are the 2 most valuable targets for them to kill at this point in the game. KBH is invis, may look to set up Yule's Requiem, and he's going to do just that, but right as it's about to go off, Chrysalid, who was off in the trees, gets a nice swap. Perfect execution there coming out from Chrysalid. He put himself in the trees, he knew that maybe there was going to be an initiation on his Templar Assassin. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to protect him. And not only did he did that, do that, but he also, because of how it happened, set them up for a kill. Great play coming out from the Vengeful Spirit. And still, more stacking has been done, and now they got another stack to go and clear. Boreal haven't been doing that stacking, so falling behind a little bit there. But I'm sure if they weren't stacking, they were doing something else on the map, so maybe they've got other stacks, or maybe they just had to manage their lanes a little bit better. But Boreal right now, still in the lead. Black Sheep finding an observer ward, and take a look at the mini-map, and you can see they've got quite a bit of offensive wards. They've got this one up here on the pillar, although it's about to expire. They had the one in the mid lane, give them vision up here, so that they can farm a little bit more aggressively in the mid lane. And then they've got one kind of managing the bottom rune and river for them. As for the Radiant, they also have aggressive wards. This one pushed up quite far past the secret shop, giving a ton of vision of rotations from the mid lane towards the bottom lane. And then they've got another one just kind of managing the top rune. It looks like we've got a little bit of pressure getting applied here to the bottom lane, but never mind, it's going to be in the mid lane and sell. And look for the Blink Echo, here it comes. There it goes, PQ jumps on in, that's going to get them the kill onto Hitch. It looks like they're going to get another one on Chrysalid as they chase him. Jeppins will get him with the Blink Decapitate. They're going to try to chase after Enso, but I don't think they're going to be able to catch him. Instead, they just turn around. It's called Culling Blade, that's what it's called. Maybe it was Decapitating Han, I don't know. Either way, he chops off the head.
Dire's middle tower
Angry
is
Testy
under attack.
has picked up his second Blade of Alacrity, so he's definitely going after Defusal. Courier's going to fly in, deliver a new set of wards to the line. Jeppins saying, you know what, they've been stacking this and farming this all the damn time. I'm going to come here and clear this camp, and in turn he'll actually back away as he realizes maybe I shouldn't be here, guys. As he sees that rotation coming from the enemy team through there, as they all made their way down there. So that ward already paying off for him. KVH will pop an illusion and just send one out here to the bottom lane. He's baiting it a little bit. He's looking for action, and he'll get an adaptive strike out from it. So just a small little play there with the illusion, and now they're actually going to be some heroes behind it as they look to retake the bottom lane and push it back towards the tower, forcing Black Sheep to have heroes down there. Jeppins farming in the mid lane, and now Angry Testy's also come down here as well. So yeah, they're drawing a lot of heroes down here and forcing heroes to be down here, but their carry's also down here as well. Meanwhile, we've got the TA was farming up at the top lane with the Juggernaut. They're going to separate now, as it doesn't really make sense to have both their cores in the same lane. And the pressure continually is getting applied in this bottom lane. Now they've kind of moved away from the bottom lane, but they're still kind of hanging around, as there's a ton of drawing on the map. That's really obnoxious. Hopefully that person stops. But Angry Testy can pretty much just keep that pressure on by himself, by just constantly keeping these illusions up and just constantly pushing them down the lane. And that forces pretty much someone else to come down here, because a Morphling isn't really able to manage those on his own. Well, we got a Blade Mail getting picked up by the Axe, and actually we haven't gone through the items really in this game, so let's quickly do that. We've got Pizza Dad with the Tranquils. We've got a Yule's picked up by the Shadow Flame. We saw him already use that, and unfortunately it didn't really work out for him. He's got another 2,300 gold in hand. He's also got a Haste bottled up. We got the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, as well as Arcane Boots. Phantom Lancer's got a Diffusal Blade, and the Axe has a Blink, Vanguard, and Blade Mail. That's a big Axe. He's actually the biggest on his team right now. As for Dire Side, the Lena. Hitch has finished the Yules to go with her Tranquils. Templar Assassin's gone Yasha, FaZe, and an Ogre Club. So working towards the BKB. The Vengeful Spirit just has the Tranquils and typical support stuff. Juggernaut has gone Maskaban as Yasha, and looks like he's actually got a Broadsword and a Claymore, so actually going to be going for a Battle Fury, although keeping it kind of hidden for now. The Morphling This has the Aquila and a Tranquils, but he's also got 1,600 gold, so it's not that he's poor, or that he's that far behind. He's got some stuff coming, but it'll be a little bit before he's actually able to purchase anything too significant. Looks like we potentially have something getting set up here. There is an observer ward to kind of protect them from this. However, 2 of these heroes are smoked, which means they won't be able to see them. But now that smoke wears off, and we did get an observer ward getting placed here, so it's going to help once again protect them as they try to push up more aggressively in the top lane. We will get Pizza Dad actually TPing away from that top lane towards the mid lane to soak up a little bit of this XP here, and he's doing it pretty safe as he's trying to stay way back. He realizes that there's the potential of someone jumping on him, and he doesn't want to feed. So playing pretty defensive there, but we're going to have Jeppins now TP to the bottom lane as they try to set something up in the bottom. Or is it just going to be an Earthshaker that's actually going to be defending here? So maybe they thought that Black Sheep was going to try to pressure a little bit more, knowing that it was just the Earthshaker there. But in turn, it's not going to be it. Dankmac will spend that money as he gets a Blink Dagger on the Morphling, and that means he's going to be able to close the gap very, very quickly, as he can always blink in, Adaptive Strike, or he can even waveform, then blink for an Adaptive Strike. But probably you're going to see him blink, Adaptive Strike, waveform for damage, or maybe even waveform out if need be. Well, Hitch has picked up a point booster as well, so already trying to build toward that Egg Scepter. Of course, that pure damage, very, very important when it comes to killing BKB'd targets, and we're going to see a BKB come out from the Shadow Fiend at some point in this game, as he's got an Ultimate Orb right now in his stash. So not looking like he's going to be going for that immediately, as it looks like Scotty's going to be the next item. But we got a 4-man smoke here coming out from the Black Sheep, as they're going to try to go on the heroes in the bottom lane, but what we think better of it is they're just actually going to back away and go for Roche instead. Looks like Boreal knew what was up as they TP'd down here, and they were kind of all bunched up trying to stay together. But now they're here as 5, and just off to the side, Roche was going down, and well, if they realized too late, as Roche has already been claimed, and the Aegis will be on the Juggernaut. Now Boreal realizing maybe they were out kind of maneuvered there. We'll kind of just go back to farming their jungle. Take a quick look at where we stand in terms of the lion levels and stuff like that. Just about to hit level 10, so he's still a little ways away from level 11. The Vengeful Spirit also important to hit level 11 as well, as she's past halfway through level 10, so getting closer and closer to that level 2 swap. The range, very, very important on level 2. Rank 1's actually not too bad anymore. It used to be basically so low, it was almost unusable. But now it's still manageable, but once you get rank 2, that's when you really can position yourself better and get some good saves with the swap. Although, you know, we saw the rank 1 in the mid lane a lot earlier be very, very valuable, getting that kill on the Shadow Fiend. It's farming up pretty far in this lane. Jeppins will jump forward. He'll actually get the taunt off. I think he thought he was going to be able to blink a little bit further than he did there. As well, he's got TP support, or teammate support, as they will keep going on the aggressive here. Hitch will eventually go down, as Enso was forced to pop a BKB charge and then run away, which is quite significant because that should have been his first charge of the game. He's now going to be down to 9 seconds. And those first couple BKB charges are very, very important. Now he'll get tossed up in the air by KVH, but Dankmac, oh, nice taunt coming out here from Jeppins, as that's going to allow them to get the kill. The Aegis will bring the Juggernaut back up in just a second, but we also lost the Vengeful Spirit. Requiem comes out from KVH, and that was actually really weird. I'll get to that in a second. As Dankmac's getting chased down, he's getting slowed up by the Phantom Lancer, and now they're eventually going to get the Juggernaut. Maybe, as he gets the Omni Slash off, just have to wait for that to finish. But what happened is, the Juggernaut was here, and he got swapped as he died. So he died essentially up here, and we had the Ankh up there. Shadow Fiend, KVH, walked up, started channeling his Requiem, and he timed it perfectly. So as soon as the Aegis happened, or the reincarnation happened, his Requiem went off. But the Juggernaut respawned down here. He didn't respawn up here. So just a little, I don't know if I'd call it a bug, but maybe just a little graphical error in Dota 2 there that just really didn't work out for Boreal, but it didn't really matter in the end. They still got the kill on the Juggernaut. Kind of was a wasted Requiem in the end, but
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Next time they have a fight, most likely. I say that, but it's actually not going to be up here, as he's going to most likely get gone on. As oh no, he's in a bad spot too, as they're going to initiate with the adaptive. Good positioning from Dankmech to make sure that he pushes him back with the adaptive as well. As we're going to see KVH take a fall. As well, he didn't have the Requiem, but it wouldn't have been necessary. It wouldn't have been useful there at all anyways. We will get the glyph getting used by Boreal to just delay this push coming up from Black Sheep. Of course, once that tier 1 tower goes down, they get it refreshed anyways. Anytime a tier 1 tower dies, you get a fresh glyph timer.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Anytime one of your
structures are
tier 1 towers go down, I should clarify that. Weapons. Still so big. Oh my goodness, he's since picked up a Reaver. He's our third highest net worth. As I say that, he drops to fourth. 1 sec please, says Angry Tessie. I'm going to actually take this second as well to mute and just take a quick sip of water. So just bear with me here for a second. Alright, I'm back, and taking a quick look at the items here. Figured might as well, we're during a pause, we can get a better, we can take the time to kind of study what everyone's got. And I'll quickly cycle through the heroes as well so we can see their current gold totals, because that's pretty important, because, you know, you look at Lion and say, hey, he's got nothing, but he's at 2,040 gold right now. So he's about 200 away from getting his Blink Dagger, and that's quite significant on the line. As for the Shadow Fiend, he just died, but he's got another 2,000 gold since picked up a Manta. So it wasn't a Scotty that he went for with that Ultimate Orb, it was a Manta. PQ. With the Blink Dagger, another 1,400 gold. He's been doing quite a bit of farming. Probably going for a 4-staff, I'm guessing, as his next item. Angry Testy with the Diffusal. And looks like he's going for a Manta since he's got a Yasha and an Ultimate Orb. Jeppins with a Reaver, which I just pointed out prior to the pause. But he's having a hell of a game at 8-1 and 9 right now. Moving on to the Dire side, Hitch. Still just has that point booster. Maybe he's got something flying in on the courier. As yes he does. He's got a Staff of Wizardry and an Ogre Club. So basically, he's almost completed his Egg Scepter. And so with the BKB and the Yasha, another 2,500 gold as well. What does the Venge have? Nothing. Poor Venge right now. Who is this? Okay, the Bracer's flying out to Venge. She's got a little bit coming her way. As for the Juggernaut, he did finish that Battle Fury. And that's going to help him farm a little bit faster. Maybe they realize that we're going to have to go a little bit later on into this game. And also putting some value on the Battle Fury, being able to clear some of the illusions getting created by the Phantom Lancer. He also has a Yasha and a Mask of Madness and 2100 gold, so might look to actually finish his Manta there. Morphling. We saw him pick up the Blink Dagger. We saw him use the Blink Dagger to get the kill onto KVH in the bottom lane on the Shadow Fiend by that tier 1 before they eventually took the tier 1. But he's also got another 1200 gold as well. Unfortunately, it looks like this is a rather extended pause. Well, I'm going to throw it to music in the meantime. I'm going to rest my voice a little bit here, as that last game was a little long and maybe a little taxing. But hopefully you'll stick with us for this, and hopefully the lag will clear up and we'll be able to resume in just a minute.
Radiant's bottom
All
tower
right, we're
is under
back
attack.
finally. Unfortunately, they are going to be playing with a little bit of lag, so Lion, unfortunately, lagging it up right now. But hopefully it won't affect him too much. We've got to kind of reorient ourselves with this game. As Boreal are the ones in the driver's seat right now, but just about 3,000 gold ahead of Black Sheep right now, and 5,000 XP ahead as well. 27 minutes into this game, we've got the tier 1 tower taken in both the top and the bottom lane in favor of Black Sheep. Black Sheep has lost their bottom tier 1 tower, their mid tier 1 tower, and their mid tier 2. Still have their top tier 1 standing. We've had Roche taken, I believe, twice this game. I had the screen up most of the time, but we've since got basically a Juggernaut almost finishing a BKB. And it looks like we've got Enzo picking up a Demon Edge, so probably going for an MKB on the Templar Assassin. Could be a Daedalus, actually. No, actually, it's probably a Daedalus. Yeah. Yeah, it's Daedalus, for sure. And now, as I say that, she's probably going to go MKB. But it's typical that a TA would be picking up a Daedalus over an MKB. I was thinking maybe because of kind of standard items that you get from a Shadow Fiend and a Phantom Lancer, that you're going to potentially get some Battle Furies, or sorry, Butterflies. But we've got a smoke here coming from Boreal as they're going to wrap around on their opponents here, and Dankmech, Enzo, and Hahaha are in a whole lot of trouble. Fidget's going to come out, lock him down. Dankmech's going to be the first one to fall. PQ pops that Ghost Scepter, keeping himself alive. Enzo, once again, having to use that BKB defensively just to run away. Chrysalid swaps Enzo back, but then gets Yule Sceptered. And now he's going to get Blink Taunted by Jeppins. That's going to be another kill for Boreal. They're going to find a third on Hitch. Now they're going to go for a fourth on Enzo, as they're going to get some good damage in, and he's going to take a fall again. A 4-man wipe there in favor of Boreal. The only one left alive was Hahaha, who, well, he kept himself away from it pretty much. As he's sitting on full HP, full mana. And he's not really going to be able to do much to defend the base here. The tier 2's already gone down. The tier 3 is going to fall pretty quickly. And it's 5 seconds before Morph's up, another 10 before the Venge. And then a few after that before the Luna. It's got a full 40 between before the TA is going to be back up. So we're going to lose a set of racks here. Boreal taking the melee racks here. Will they stay for the ranged? Yeah, they will. They've got time. Why not? I don't think they'll stick around after that. I think they'll just back as a team now. They're even going to lay down a fissure to stun up their opponents just to make sure that they're able to get out of there safely. Now they just go back to farming. KVH goes to the top. Going to put some pressure on that, force someone to come and TP, and we're actually going to see Hitch TP up here to defend that push coming out from KVH. He's actually going to put himself in a position so that he's going to be behind KVH if KVH chooses to push up past this next creep wave. He thinks better of it. He's going to back, and he's actually going to finish the Scotty here at the secret shop. So Black Sheep, we're trying to potentially set up a kill there, but it didn't really come to fruition as KVH realized that it was probably not a good idea and backed away. Jeppins now just finishing his heart on that axe. My goodness, it's a big axe. So big. Unreal. 8-1-11 so far in this game. He's got definitely the best record in this game. We got 5-1-15 on the Earthshaker. That's not too shabby either. It's actually a higher participation as well than the axe by 1 kill, but still higher. We see most of the heroes on Black Sheep kind of struggling. The only one really doing okay is the Lina, who's at 7-8-4. And even that's kind of negative. But Jeppin's going to jump in, get the taunt off on a Chrysalid, who actually will get a swap off, but haha, it's going to be the first one to go down. Chrysalid's actually okay. And now they're going to try to go after Dankmech, who's now found himself into Yule's. He'll land immediately into a Requiem and get pretty much demolished, just disintegrated, removed from the Dota map. Now, Boreal will look to break high ground once again, forcing out a buyback from Dankmech. The only one not left or only one not able to defend here is going to be the Juggernaut. No buyback available. 35 seconds till he's back up. Hitch will go down, so we've got just 3 heroes left to defend here for Black Sheep. Jeppin's taking quite a bit of damage, but Enso once again using that BKB to run away. Every single time he's used BKB this game, it's actually just been to run away. And that's not what you want to be using your BKBs for. Not that it's, you know, him using it miscorrectly. He has to use the BKB to get away there, but it's just unfortunate that he's constantly having to run away rather than them to really be able to take the fight. But either way, it's a second set of racks down in favor of Boreal. Now Black Sheep. You know, they're up 1-0 right now in terms of the group. They took the game off most would consider the favorites in the group off Wheel. But now they're losing a game to Boreal, which we already saw lose a game to Wheel. So if Boreal goes on to win this, we're going to have everyone, well, out of the three of the 4 teams in Group B here, they're all going to be locked at 1 win and 1 loss apiece. There we go. Root, of course, the only team that we haven't seen, and they're actually going to be featured in all 3 games tomorrow night to close out the group. But Jeppin's now going to look for another taunt. It's going to land it on Hitch. Chrysalid will swap Hitch back, but that means Chrysalid's going to go down, and Hitch ends up going down anyways. Now, haha, has already got the Omni Slash off. He's in a little bit of a man fight here with KVH, but he's losing. So the Juggernaut will go down. The GGs will get called. Good game. The lag, the MS, whatever you want to call it, on to Pizza Dad didn't play a factor as Boreal just keeps it going. It was an MKB purchased by the TA at the end of the game, so it wasn't a data list just because I said it was a data list. But either way, Boreal takes it, and yeah, now everyone's tied at 1 win apiece in this group. That's going to make things certainly interesting, and it's going to put certainly Root in an interesting position, because if they win all their games, then they're guaranteed in, obviously. But then we're going to have a 3-way battle for that next slot. And of course, if Root loses all their games, then we're also going to have a 3-way battle with only 2 of those teams advancing. So it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. So definitely come back and check that out. I will be casting all those games. They will be starting at, I'm just going to make sure that I've got the time right here for you. And it is going to start at 7:30 tomorrow night. So same night that we started off, or same time that we started tonight. And we're going to lead with Boreal versus Root Gaming. And that's going to be followed up by Wheel versus Root Gaming. And then eventually Black Sheep against Root Gaming. And that'll close out our Group B. Top 2 will advance. And then we'll move on to Group C the next day. But that's going to be it for this one. And that's going to be it for tonight. Hopefully you did enjoy the cast. Hopefully you will come back and check them out a little bit later, or tomorrow night, or maybe a couple days after, whenever you have the time available to you. But I am Niz, so hit that follow button on twitch.tv/NizCast, and you'll be able to catch all of my casts. Besides that, you can hit me up on Twitter at NizCast, and on YouTube, where I upload all the VODs of everything I've cast. And that's youtube.com/NizCast. But don't just follow those. Make sure you follow the actual tournament organizers. They've got their main Twitch channel, the official Twitch channel for the tournament, at twitch.tv/Dota2 Canada Cup. And there's also an in-game ticket for $9 or $8.99 American. You can buy a ticket. 12.5% of that $9 goes directly back into the prize pool, so you're supporting the players as well as supporting the tournament. And in exchange, you get a Sven set, which is pretty awesome. So definitely go and check that out. But yeah, that's going to be it for me tonight. Thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully you enjoy the game. Unfortunately, we did have that pause, a lengthy pause, towards the end of this game. But Boreal didn't waste any time afterwards finishing the game, and well, they did so in spectacular fashion. But like I said, that's it for me tonight. Hopefully you have a good night as well. And hopefully you come back and join us. Good night, everyone.